No, very disappointing. I mean, that's stating the obvious. Would have liked to start the series on a positive note. There's a few learning opportunities for us to take from this test. As I said in the post match, now that our bowlers were really good in this series, or this test match. Both teams were 150, 160 for 5 in all 4 innings. So it shows there that the learning that we can take is just to make sure that we're a bit more ruthless to their tail. If you look at them, how they did it, once they got through the first 7 or 8 batters, it was pretty easy to get through the tail. So learn from that, and also just take a bit more responsibility with the bat once you have an opportunity to get some runs. But I'm really proud of the character. As I said as well, that most teams that you play in a test match, when you get onto a position of strength like that, the team rocks up on day 4 and you bully them the whole day. So great to see the fight from our bowlers yesterday, bowling Australia out for 200 odd, and then not a great start with the bat, but then once again great character from the young guys, just to start their series off really well, and that will do them very well for this series.
From where you were standing at the incident yesterday, what happens?
With my towel on.
What was said as well?
I just heard the commotion and just went outside and just asked David to go into his dressing room because it needs to stay on the field. When you're chirping each other, it doesn't need to go any further than that.
Were they still chirping each other from an incident that happened on the field?
I think it's pretty obvious, the video. But once again, I think it's, for me, if you chirp each other, it's always on the field, and there needs to be boundaries within that.
Any of the sledging on the field or any of the comments in that commotion cross the line?
I think both parties, they would, from what I've heard, there was a lot of personal stuff being said. Don't know to what matter. That's obviously what made it go off the field. So if you are, and that's us included, if you want to go personal, then it needs to stay on the field.
Is the relations between the two teams now, we've seen this before, is a pretty bad place after what happened?
Look, as I said before this series, every single match that I've played against Australia, you expect it. So I'm certainly not sitting here complaining about it. It's the way that we play our cricket against them. We expect it. So for me, that's not a surprise. It's just normal day business for us. Two teams trying to bash it out. Disappointing to see how that unfolded yesterday, but we expect a tough series and we look forward to the battle.
There's not many days to go before the series resumes in PE, so do you at some point sit your team down and say, don't let stuff like this become a big issue, don't get distracted, or do you use something like this as kind of motivation to do that?
I don't think the team needs more motivation than to beat Australia. They're a very strong team. But for us it's just really important to play our cricket in the way that we feel we need to beat Australia. And whatever that will work for different personalities, whatever brings the best out of you, that needs to come out of you. It's a nice opportunity for us to, as I said, learn from the mistakes that we made, but also to stand up and compete against Australia.
Faf, you mentioned the difficulty handling the Australian tail, and obviously, judging by how destructive Mitchell Starc was, you must be hankering for a guy like Dale Steyn to come back.
Yeah, I think there was a real difference in, you can see the skill with the reverse swinging ball. We've Rabada and Starc were the two standouts when it comes to reverse swing. Every time KG had the ball in his hand, it looked like he can take a wicket at any stage, and the same thing with Starc. So obviously it's one bowler in each team has got the potential to do that to the tail, but as you rightly say, Dale is one of those guys that are very deadly with a reverse swinging ball. But I mean, Dale's not available for us right now, so we've got to make sure that the guys that we have, we find ways to eliminate the tail a lot quicker, even if it was not necessarily a roll around scored. But it's about making sure that we keep them quiet. As I said before the series, I think it's going to be a real crucial part. This test series is the amount of runs that get scored from 8 to 11.
But you mentioned the talent. What can you do about it? Because, in fact, the difference between the fall of the 6 wicket in both teams was actually greater than the eventual result. Is there much you can do in the next few days?
It's difficult for the tail. I mean, there's a reason why Stark has done that. He's not done it just to South Africa. He reverse swings the ball at pace. And as I said, the only weapon we have with the South African team that does that right now is Kagiso as well. So the tail's going to have to scrap it and try and get as many runs as possible. But we know as the top 7 or 8 batters, the responsibility lies on us to make sure, because for us it will be a little bit easier. And then same thing when Kagiso gets a sniff for the tail, that he can run through them in the same way. So that's the plan for us, making sure we can eliminate them a little bit quicker.
Faf, the animosity between the teams from time to time, do you think it adds with on-field action, or does it take away and sort of deviate attention from what's going on the field?
No, I mean the cricket should speak from itself. That's obviously probably an isolated incident as one incident now. But that's, as I said, you expect that playing into Australia. It's competitive cricket. For me, as long as it stays on the field, then it's okay.
With this phrase, as long as it stays on the field, we hear a lot, and obviously it hasn't yesterday. What's your view on how to stop it spilling over? Because we've obviously got a situation
Yeah.
where things happen on the field, and quite often we as journalists ask players, is it unplanned? And they say no. What we're hearing now is that it was unplanned.
Look, I think your umpires play a big role in that, to make sure that you don't let it get to that stage. As there's been a lot of games where we've played where our bowlers or someone will get penalised or demerit points for if they step over that line. So I think that's where the game is obviously moving. The old days of say what you want and do what you want, I don't think it's there anymore with all the TV and stump mic and stuff like that now. So yeah, it's I suppose to answer your question, that lies with how they handle what's happening out there on the field.
It seems to me that players don't seem to want to say that it's gone unplanned. I don't know if you feel it, you guys are being scaredy cats or whatever it is. I mean, even Aiden yesterday said nothing on the field is unplanned. But, clean games, personal stuff.
No, but as I say many times, I play cricket expecting that. If I play against Australia and I don't hear that, then I'm disappointed. So, no, for me that's part of the game. To answer your question, it's just I don't decide where that line is.
It's the last one. Time to move on. Chris, you next
Faf, another heart in the mouth moment, Aiden Makram, but he did get across the line finally. Quite some relief from you guys in the changing room.
That was a brilliant knock. It says a lot about his character once again. Went through a little bit of a tough stage through the one days against India, and you can always judge a guy how he stands up in big performances. The run out between him and AB would have been weighing on his mind, and I was out there with him, and obviously from an Australian cricket team point of view, they were trying to put pressure on to making sure that was something that should weigh on his shoulders, and to get through that says a lot about a young guy. Just the belief that he has in himself, and we know the talent that he has as a batsman. So it's great to see him playing a fantastic Test 100.
Have you ever taken a run to David Warner then?
Oh, David's a good fielder, so I mean he's run me out a few times as well. So it's difficult to say. I'm probably the last guy to talk about run-outs.
Have you had a chance to have a chat with Quinton since the incident? Maybe just broadly, how is he going? Do you have any specific resulting from?
No, Quinny's fine. I don't think you get a reaction out of Quinton anyway most of the time. So when you look at him now, it's like nothing happened.
Have you ever get that sort of intense on him? There's often talk of like leaving the field once it crosses the line. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Probably not. I'm not sure. I haven't personally involved with it. But yeah, is what it is.
Who did you regard as the instigator in that altercation? Secondly, you sort of talked about the personal stuff on the field. Do you find that acceptable if it stays on the field? There's a suggestion that there was a comment made
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I wasn't out there in the middle. All I've heard, there was a lot of personal stuff on the field already, to and from. Who started it? I don't know. Yeah, so if it was happening on the field, it probably should have been nipped in the bud on the field already. And the fact that it spilled over after the field shouldn't happen.
Faf, did everything start with the run out, the AB run out when David Warner started like shouting things at Aiden, and then also how did you guys feel about Nathan Lyon walking in, dropping the ball?
As I said, it's expected. It's not anything out of the ordinary for me. We certainly don't complain about it. It's big men playing competitive sport. So yeah, I didn't even see the footage of Lyon dropping the ball on AB until this morning. So it's not like it was anything extra for us. We just play. Obviously, Australia they were on top for most of the game, and when you're on top, generally those things happens to you more as a team. But no, we just kept going.
But the Australian team seemed to go to quite desperate lengths to make sure the stump marks are kept off, running through sponsors' names and that sort of thing. What is your guys' view on the stump marks? Should they be do you think it would help if they were left on all the time?
I didn't know we had an option of on or off. I thought it was just there always. And if you say stuff and you obviously get caught, then you get caught. But if you don't get caught, then stuff will be said all the time. That's part of cricket.
Just in Afrikaans, is the reaction to losing this test match and reaction to what's going on just in terms of off the field?
Yeah.
Not in the video?
Ja, dis baie disappointing vir ons dat hulle die wedstryd gewen het nie. Ek dink Australië het eerste innings het hulle goed gedoen. Ons moes hulle vinniger uitgebal het. 350 was bietjie te veel op daai blad gewees. Maar daar was genoeg draai en die bal het vinnig uitgeword, so die reverse swing het 'n rol gespeel. Maar ek's baie trots op die ouens geveg het. Die laaste dag 4 was 'n groot dag vir ons. Vir die res van die series net om seker te maak ons wys vir hulle dat ons gaan nie weg as 'n span nie. Ons sal aanhou veg. So baie trots op Aiden se 100 teen as 'n brein as 'n jong kolwer en Quentin de Kock hoe hulle gebat het gister. En dan ook wat gebeur het van die veld af. Dit is iets wat mense wil sien nie, maar ons sien uit aan die volgende toets.